Welcome to this week's episode of The Good, The Bad and The Odd with your host Mark and Sam. This week we'll be telling you what we've been up to this week. We'll be discussing our top 5 monster fights in the movies, and we'll be discussing Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein. Hi Sam.
Hi.
How are you?
Okay.
Right, what you been up to this week?
Mostly been playing Assassin's Creed Brotherhood.
On the Xbox?
On the Xbox, in preparation for getting Revelations.
You're getting Revelations the weekend?
Yeah.
Cool. So which one is that? There's Assassin's Creed 2, and is Brotherhood the
there's
third?
Brotherhood it's the second part of Ezio's story. The second, it's a continuation of Assassin's Creed 2. It's not
So it's
really
the
a third part.
Okay, but it's the third in the series that were released.
Yeah.
Okay, and Revelations is fourth?
Yeah.
And that's a recent one, isn't it? Okay, you enjoying it?
Mhm.
Yeah, okay. Is it much different from the other two?
I'd say it's easier to play than Assassin's Creed 2.
Okay.
But for story, I prefer 2 itself.
Okay. Is this so as you say, it's a continuation of the same story?
Yeah.
Cool. Right. I've been playing an Xbox game this week. I haven't quite finished it, but nearly. I think I discussed it last week. GoldenEye Reloaded. I wasn't sure if I liked it last week, but I played it a bit more and I've sort of got used to it. While it's not great, it's still pretty good. And it's kind of cool to be James Bond. And I have to say, the story is pretty solid. It's based on GoldenEye the movie, really, but it's this one's got Daniel Craig in, not Pierce Brosnan. I would have preferred Pierce Brosnan myself, but there you go. That's all I've done for games this week. What about any others for you?
Nah.
Films?
Aside from Abbott and Costello.
Okay. I watched a couple of films. I watched a documentary called Video Nasty's Moral Panic, which was a documentary about in the 80s there was this big hoo-ha in the UK about video nasties, so-called video nasties, which are exploitation horror films that weren't regulated. Videotapes weren't regulated for a time, so there was no certification. So effectively kids could go into a shop and rent whatever they liked, and depending on the preferences of the store owner, you could rent them or not. And it was about all the hoo-ha around that, and it was intercut with like the worst scenes from a lot of the video nasties, just to sort of rub it in. So it's not something you could show to sort of young people because it was so gross. But it was kind of interesting to see these sort of stuffed shirts on one side, you know, saying, "Oh, these films are disgusting," because they'd never seen a horror film in their life. It wasn't in black and white. So as soon as you show them a modern horror film, they're like, it looks outrageous, I'm sure. But then on the other side, there was these video games, some of which were these video rental and freedom of speech people. The freedom of speech people were very lucid and came across quite well, but some of the video guys looked a bit seedy, to be honest. It was quite good. I also watched the third in the Planet of the Apes, the original Planet of the Apes films, Escape from the Planet of the Apes, where Cornelius, Zyra, and another one called Milo come back from the Planet of the Apes. They come back in time to our times, or the 70s is for, which is kind of interesting. It seeds the story of how the apes actually started to become intelligent here.
You showed me the very end of this. That was a brutal loop.
Yeah. There was a looping baby ape going, "Mama, mama, mama," but it was really badly looped. It was quite a brutal film. You know, it's not many films you see like a baby. Well, alright, it was a pile of blankets, but basically a baby gets machine gunned in this film. So it's like, oh man. But I'm kind of looking forward to the fourth one because it's the one that's most like the Rise of the Planet of the Apes, and I want to compare and contrast. So, but I wanted to watch them in order. I've never seen this one, and I haven't seen Conquest. I have seen Battle number 5. I actually went to the cinema when I was about 6 or 7 and saw Battle for the Planet of the Apes. So, and I'm not sure I've seen it since then, so it'd be interesting to watch again. How about any TV or any books or anything? No. I read a book called Starship Titanic, which I thought was a book by Douglas Adams, but in fact it turns out it was a game by Douglas Adams, a PC game, which got converted into a book by Terry Jones from Monty Python. and it was okay. It was reasonably entertaining. Nothing great, but not too bad. It's very Douglas Adams-ish, you know. There's all sorts of weird and wonderful things in it, using the kind of language of Douglas Adams. There's a bomb that keeps counting down that's going to blow up this ship, that they have to keep confusing the bomb so it loses track of where its count is and it starts from 1,000 again. So, you know, when it gets really low, they start asking it questions like, how are you feeling, bomb? And it'll say, oh, what? Oh, and or they start asking things around numbers. You know, could you tell me what 3 dozen come to, and things like that. And the bomb just gets confused. Things like that. It was okay. I also listened to a radio thing that was quite interesting, which was called the Quatermass Memoirs. It was on Radio 4 at some point, where basically they've got all these radio stroke old TV shows of Quatermass, and there's 3 main Quatermass stories. And what they did is they set it up in a dramatic structuring. So a journalist was interviewing the old Quatermass, who was telling the journalist about these past times, and they intercut that modern dramatisation with samples from the old radio show as if it was like a historical flashback in the same story, but they also cut it with news archive of what was going on in those times, you know, like unrest and the Cuban Missile Crisis. It was kind of a good idea, really, because they reused all these old things, but they gave you like a contracted story, so instead of listening to 3 hours of Quatermass, you got a 10-minute bit which gave you a good feel for each story. It was about two hours in all, I think. It was quite good, yeah. So that's it for me this week, and for you. Okay, shall we go on to our top 5?
Okay.
Number 5 is alive.
Monster fights in the
Yeah.
movies. Right, shall I start, or do you want to?
I'll start. My first, I'm not sure if this counts.
Yep.
It's from the 3rd Mummy film, Mummy Tomb of the Dragon Emperor.
Yeah?
It's this bit where the Dragon Emperor turns into, well, a dragon, and essentially the good guys have raised this zombie army that the Great Wall of China was really made on,
Right.
and they're using it as opposition to the Terracotta army that the Dragon Emperor is using.
Yeah.
And the Dragon Emperor turns into a dragon and starts fighting him himself.
Yeah.
And it's quite a good scene, but I'm not sure if it counts.
Yeah, I think that sounds reasonable. For some reason, I had in my head when you started talking about the Scorpion King, but that was a different film entirely,
Yeah.
wasn't it? Yeah, I think, was there a dragon in the Scorpion King? All right. Oh, well, that's okay. That sounds like quite a good one, yeah. My number 5 is Godzilla versus Godzilla. You know the film I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
Do you know which Godzilla's? Right, I'm talking about the proper Godzilla.
Actually, now in Godzilla canon, that monster's called Jira.
So I'm talking about the original Godzilla, versus the Hollywood version of Godzilla. And I can't remember the film now. Is it Monsters?
Final Wars.
Final Wars.
Godzilla Final Wars.
Yes, and how long do you think the Hollywood Godzilla lasts against the...
Oh, I know. It's like 13 seconds.
It's not very long. It's quite funny to see.
It roars at him, runs at him, and then gets hit into the Sydney Opera House.
Yeah, it's an epic film. The whole thing's full of monster fights, but this
Yeah.
one, that one in particular, tickles me. So that's why it's my number 5. Anyway, go on.
My number 5 is King Kong versus the Tyrannosaur. Either version, really, because I prefer the new one. Cause
The new one. Well,
Yeah.
is it 2 or even 3?
It's 3 Tyrannosaurs in
You
the
fight
new
3
one.
Tyrannosaurs, yes. It's an epic fight. They get caught up in ropes, in vines, don't they? And things
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, it's a good one. We might be coming on to something similar to that later. So. Right, my number 4 is from The Golden Voyage of Sinbad,
Okay.
and it's the Griffin versus the Centaur. Do you remember there's like a
Oh,
weird
yeah.
tribe who worship the centaur as a god,
Yeah.
but a griffin appears from somewhere and they start fighting.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. I just enjoy that one. I always like that film. There's something about it. It's weird because like hardly anyone in it you know, but it's still quite a fun film, and it was made in the 70s, so it's a bit unlike some of the earlier Harryhausen, but it is a Harryhausen. We've talked about Harryhausen before and how much we like him anyway. Okay, that's my number 4.
Okay, my number 3 is from Godzilla Final Wars, film
Okay,
we
yeah.
mentioned before, and it's Godzilla versus Monster X, the final sort of monster that he fights in the film, which later turns out to be King Ghidorah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I can't remember Monster X.
It starts off as like this sort of humanoid thing with skeletal armor and two sort of half skulls.
But presumably gigantic, yeah.
It's same size as Godzilla.
Yeah, well,
the skulls on it.
Yeah.
As the whole story is, there's aliens taking the monsters, putting mind control devices in them and dropping them and threatening to drop them around the planet.
Yeah.
And Godzilla is woken up from deep freeze to fight them.
Good old Godzilla.
And the dying alien leader gives all his energy to Monster X, which then turns into this giant black King Ghidorah that just throws Godzilla around.
Okay.
Literally.
Right, okay, yeah. I don't remember it. Okay. But yeah, if it's the last fight, I'm sure it's a good one. Okay. Sorry, go on.
And then it essentially is with Godzilla tearing the heads off.
Nice. Okay, well, my number 3 is a bit more... slightly smaller monsters, and it's the Alien vs Predator. It's not a great film, but it's okay. It's better than a lot of people think, but suggest it is. I think it's okay. It's nowhere near as good as the rest of the Alien or Predator films at that point. But it's kind of fun to watch the Predators taking out the aliens and having their equipment to take out the aliens. Nets and having to combat around the acid and taking the aliens as trophies, stuff like that. I liked it a lot. Did you like it?
Yeah, I really liked the film.
It was alright. It was a good adventure story. No more, no less. It was pretty good fun. I'll say I've heard really bad things about the second one, but I haven't seen it, so I will see it sometime. But I've heard it's not that great because they come to Earth, don't they? I'm sorry, the first one's in Earth, but they're like in a town in America or something.
The trailer for it was quite good, where it just has a population count, and then it shows a Predator ship floating and then landing, and then it shows that population count again, and it slowly starts going down, and then it loops down really quickly.
Nice.
But I know that one's quite brutal because the Predator alien.
Yeah, the Predalien or whatever.
Yeah, it doesn't need face huggers. It has an applicator in its mouth.
Ooh, that's horrible. Ooh, I need to watch it, I think. Then at least I know how bad it's about. If it really is.
It gets a pregnant woman.
Nice.
There's 4 aliens.
Ooh. Okay. Well, I think I will watch it soon. Maybe we could watch it. What do you mean?
Yeah, maybe.
Alright, okay, you're number 3, I think.
I've done my number 3.
Have you done that? Number 2 then? You're number 2?
My number 2 is all the monsters versus King Ghidorah in Destroy All Monsters.
You're hedging your bets there, aren't you?
Yeah, because I really like
that. That must be like 15 fights?
No, it's all of them against the one monster.
Oh, all in one fight, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's like Godzilla shoots at him.
Yeah.
Mothra and the big spider try to pull him down from the air.
Yeah.
There's even a bit where Godzilla's just stomping on his neck.
Nice. That sounds like fun. You can't really go wrong with Godzilla.
Yeah.
And I have to say my number 2's got a Godzilla in as well. Shall I go on?
I can guess, yeah.
Which Godzilla one do you think this is?
King Kong versus Godzilla.
Yes, that's my second favourite monster fight. I really loved this film when I was a kid. Whenever it was on, I really, really liked it. And it's okay now. It's a bit odd when you watch bits of it now, isn't it? There's like a weird tribe of... they're supposed to be like not, South Seas, so they're dark skinned, but it's really Japanese people blacked up. It's a bit dodgy, and the whole King Kong and Godzilla things. It's a lot of fun. Obviously, it's people in suits, but it's okay. I enjoy it a lot. I like the bit where King Kong actually gets Godzilla by the tail and starts swinging him around by his tail. I can't remember actually. No one really won, did they? Godzilla went one way and King Kong just swam off.
Yeah,
he swam home, which is kind of unusual. I enjoy that one. Anyway,
Toho made a sequel. Toho, the
who?
Toho is the
Toho.
company that makes them.
Okay, yeah. They made a sequel.
It's not really a sequel. It's more Kong on Kong Island.
Oh, okay.
It introduces Gorosaurus, who's in Destroy All Monsters, and does quite a good kangaroo kick to Ghidorah's back.
It's a wonder they didn't do more King Kong, because that could have been as popular as Godzilla, actually.
But for some reason, King Kong is now colossal. Like in the original, he could hold a woman in his hands.
It was about 40 odd foot tall. Yeah.
In this, he's at least 100.
Yeah.
Tall.
Well,
he towers above all the trees.
I believe in.
I could be wrong.
I could be wrong, but I think Godzilla's meant to be like 100 foot tall. Is he? Do you know?
I'll look into this.
Yeah. Well, okay. I think so. If King Kong had been his size in the original, I thought he would have been only half the size of Godzilla in that movie, so that wouldn't have worked. But so they had to change it really. Okay. What's your number one then?
Mine is the werewolf versus Dracula fight in Van Helsing.
Oh, in Van Helsing, right? Okay. The reason, we picked this one because in Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein, there is a Dracula versus werewolf fight, Wolfman fight, isn't it? Yeah, go on. You like that fight?
I sort of like how they try to equal the grounds. Dracula, while supposedly being incredibly powerful, I doubt he could take on a werewolf in a fist fight as he does in this. But he sort of turns into this huge bat thing.
Cool. Is the werewolf in it Van Helsing?
Yeah, he gets bitten.
I was trying to remember.
Bitten by a werewolf because being a werewolf is the only way to kill Dracula. The bite of a werewolf. And it's over.
Well, hold on. The bite of a werewolf kills Dracula.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I don't remember this. I can't really remember this.
It's only really in the movie.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's it. So no stake through the heart, no sunlight.
Well, he tries stake through the heart.
And
he's like, oh, you thought that would work?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then backhands him.
Yeah. I remember seeing a Hammer film once where, traditionally Dracula, stake through the heart, dies. In this Hammer film, they hammered it into him, and for some reason they added to the law 5 minutes before they were hammering it into him. You got to really believe, and all this, and then they try and do it, and he just stands up and pulls it out. He's in agony, but he does stand up and pull it out. I think it was probably more. That was. I remember watching it going, "Oh, that's kind of awesome," but it's a bit of a cop out because Dracula shouldn't be able to pull that stake out again. That's just not on. So he does that in Van Helsing, does he?
Yeah. And he sort of makes loads of jokes about it. He's like, "You really think this would have hurt me?" Snaps the stake.
Yeah.
Throws it about. They try splash. I think he tries splashing him with holy water.
Right.
Just sort of out of nowhere, smashing a bottle of it over his head.
And
it's just sort of like. He just sort of looks at him like, why? For a moment.
Nice. Okay, I'll get to my number one. My number one is a kind of reflection on one you've already had, which is King Kong versus the T-Rex, but in the original this time.
Yeah.
I really like that fight. I remember it almost shot for shot because I've seen it so many times. I kind of like the new one. That bit of it, there were bits about the new one I just didn't like. But there was bits I really did like. I really liked the scary natives. I thought that was really good.
Yeah,
but they just took far too long to get to the island. That was the trouble with it. But I like the original fight. In fact, Kong fights loads of things in the first one. He fights a T-Rex. He fights
a T-Rex. It's not really a snake. It's like
it's like a brachiosaur.
It's a
plesiosaur, yeah, and a pterodactyl
for a bit,
and then all the things in New York, he starts, and they're not really fighting with him, obviously, but he's hitting a train and all that. No, it's the T-Rex. I thought that was a really good fight. So we got. I think we both had pretty good lists there. Got any honourable mentions?
Alien versus Predator.
Yeah.
Not really.
I got one that I kind of almost put in, but I had something so similar I decided not to, which is another Harryhausen one, and it's the saber-toothed tiger versus the troglodyte in Sinbad and the Eye of the Tiger.
Yeah, that's a really good fight.
Yeah, that's a good fight. It's a very similar era to Sinbad and the Gold. I think there's only a couple of years.
Very brutal fight, if I remember
It's
rightly.
quite strong, yeah. And it's the witch has turned herself into a tiger, isn't it?
No, she's possessed a frozen.
That's it.
saber-toothed
That's
tiger.
it. It's a nice fight, but I just the centaur versus the griffin just edges it out for me. I like that better.
See, I almost chose the Cyclops versus the dragon from Golden Voyage.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, there's the giant dragon.
Do you mean the Seventh Voyage?
Yeah.
The Seventh Voyage.
Seventh
Yes,
Voyage.
I know.
Seventh.
Yes, yeah, that is a good one too. That's a great film. It's never on the TV anymore. I don't know why. It's a really awesome film though. My other honourable mentions are ones I haven't actually seen, but I just like the idea, which is Joseph versus Freddy. I think that might have some potential, and apparently it's not too bad a film. It's not great, and the other one is just the title, and I don't even want to see it because I just know it's going to be terrible. And it's Mega Shark versus Giant Octopus. That's got to be.
I've seen bits of it. It's really stupid.
Yeah. I've seen the bit where a bloke looking out of a plane window.
Yeah, he just
and
sort of looks at a
giant
plane.
shark comes
Oh my god! And there's like a shark just coming towards it.
So sharks can even a giant shark, can jump 20,000
I
feet.
doubt the ocean's even deep enough for it to do that.
Yeah, well, let's not examine
No,
the reality.
you see it in comparison to what I think is a nuclear submarine. It's huge.
Yes,
it's
it is big.
It's
So's the
bigger,
octopus,
much bigger
though,
than
isn't it?
Godzilla.
Yeah. It is big, yeah. That was the trick, though. And I think there's a whole series of films like this. There's one about a giant crocodile and something else.
Oh, if this is what I think it is, it's made by this company called The Asylum. So
Yeah, you could be right.
they make knockoff films.
Yeah, they're the people that made Transmorphers.
Yeah, and Snakes on a Train.
Snakes on a Train, nice. Snakes on a Train. And I suspect they're the ones that brought out, when Battle Los Angeles come out?
Yeah, they did Battle for
Battle
Los Angeles.
for Los Angeles, with the 4 in a tiny little letters. So if you saw the video case, you would get confused. Okay.
They made the Da Vinci Treasure to oppose the Da Vinci Code.
Well, that can't be much worse than Da Vinci Code, frankly.
Against Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, they released Alan Quatermain and the Temple of Skulls.
Nice.
Against High School Musical, they made Sunday School Musical. Day the Earth Stood Still, they had The Day the Earth Stopped.
Okay, alright, I get the idea. Okay, I bet all of these get to sci-fi.
Oh god, they did one for Thor, called The Almighty Thor. Oh, it looks bad even from the poster.
Oh, how could they get the rights to do? Oh, he's a god, isn't he? And they can just say,
Yeah.
"Oh, we weren't talking about the Marvel one. We're talking about the gods."
Oh, it's just a thinly veiled attempt to cash in on the success of the film.
There can be only one.
All right, well let's move on to our main feature: Abbott and Costello versus Frankenstein. Now, versus Meet Frankenstein. This film it's something I picked because I've been walking through the Universals, which I think I've mentioned before, and this was like the final film of a whole set of a run of Universal films involving what could be considered the classic monsters of Universal, which are usually held up to be the Frankenstein monster, Dracula, and the Wolfman. Unfortunately, as they were coming towards the end of the series, they got rather poor. They weren't great, and the series were culminated in House of Dracula and House of Frankenstein, which featured all 3 of those monsters. But then this final film with Abbott and Costello came out, and it was far, far, far superior to those in both scares and script, and it was funny. So it was nice to see those monsters bow out with some quality rather than just getting poorer and poorer.
I
Sam, what did you think of it?
really like this film.
It was very funny, wasn't it? This is often considered the best of the Abbott and Costello films, and they made a lot of films. They made, I would guess, 30 odd films, and this is one of the best. This one and one called Abbott and Costello in the Foreign Legion, I think, are probably held as the best of their films. Having said that, even though poor films are reasonably amusing, they're a funny pair. So, well certainly Luke Costello's pretty funny. So, but this really worked, didn't it? It was kind of scary all right. No one's going to be scared these days by the sort of horror there, didn't it? But it was still set up some tension, didn't it?
Yeah.
I think in places. Was there any particular bits you liked best?
I really like the sort of routine that they had when they were delivering the crates to the
House of Horrors.
Yeah,
Yes,
that
that
was
was
really funny.
very
He's sitting
funny.
there reading
And he's trying to-
Dracula's coffin. He's reading Dracula's story. It's every night he wakes up to drink the blood of the innocents. And the coffin opens slightly, and the candle he's reading by slides down the coffin. It's just sort of looking at it.
Yeah, that's an
And then
awesome.
the coffin just shuts.
It's a good 10 or 15 minutes, the whole sequence, but it never gets boring, does it? Because it's just so funny.
And then Dracula and Frankenstein's monster do finally get up, and Dracula hypnotizes Costello.
Yeah.
And Frankenstein's monster just sort of freaks out at the sight of him. And Dracula just goes, "Don't worry, he won't hurt you."
Yeah, that's one of my favourite lines in the film. It's very funny. I also really like the interaction between Lou Costello and Larry Talbot, Lon Chaney, because Lon Chaney's playing it full on. I have a horrible life. I turn into a wolf.
I'm this tortured being, and then Lucas is like, yeah.
I like the bit where he goes, "Every night I turn into a wolf," and he says, "Between you and me, I'm a bit of a wolf myself." Things like that.
Yeah.
And Lon Chaney goes nuts. That's very funny. I think that's really good. And the end was quite good. I thought the fight with Dracula and Dracula and the Wolfman.
Yeah.
In one part of the house, while Frankenstein's monster's chasing two
the
guys
other two
around
the other.
And they're just not working properly. And at
that's
one point, he pretends to be Dracula, doesn't he? Holds a cape over his face and starts leading around. The monster
He starts
taking
leaping
away.
back up, and then
And he's so pleased with himself.
Yeah, he sort of puts the disguise down and goes, "He thinks I'm Dracula."
yeah, that's a very good bit. Was there any poor bits, you think?
Well, the bit at the castle where they're just before they go to the masquerade ball,
Yeah.
they're just sort of wandering round.
Yeah,
Before they get to their sort of spinning room bits.
Yeah.
It's just sort of like...
The spinning room bit's pretty funny, though. I like the bit where another bit where Luke Costello's in the stocks, standing up, and his girlfriend, or he thought it was his girlfriend Sandra, and the Frankenstein monster, and he's going, "Sandra, Junior, Sandra." He calls the Frankenstein monster Junior for some reason, I don't know. It's a very fast, punchy film. I think it was 80 minutes, so it gets on with it really, its business really well, and it's very funny. There's also a whole routine right at the beginning in the luggage handling thing, isn't there? Where he gets on a box and it's rocking backwards and forwards. It's about 10 foot high.
And then it drops down to the ground, practically smashes, and then goes, "Here's your box."
yeah, like he planned it. It was very funny. And I think this is the second time since Dracula. The second time that Bela Lugosi played Dracula. He didn't actually, Dracula is a very, very, very iconic role for Bela Lugosi, and when you think of Dracula, you think of Bela Lugosi, really. But he only played him a few times, or he played sort of clones of him as a vampire, but not actually Dracula. But this is the second official time he played Dracula. And he wasn't particularly scary, was he? He was like a bloke in a dressing gown watching around.
He mostly had his cloak over his face.
Yeah.
Really tight. It wasn't even over his arm, it was wrapped around his face.
Yeah. I think it's because he was old. I don't know. I think there are stories about him getting quite cross on set because the guy who used to goof around. In the middle of a scene, they'd get a custard pie and stick it in someone's face and have a laugh, and he'd get a bit cross about it because he considered himself a professional. And you should have some dignity, but they didn't care. They must have had a laugh on their sets in the day. I also like all the interactions where there's two women after Lou Costello, and Bud Abbott's like so confused. He said, "Come by the window. I've got to see this." And he looks at him in the face. Says, I don't get it. It's how Lou Costello reacts when all these women are after him. He thinks it's like really cool, doesn't he? Yeah. It's very funny. So what would you? I forgot to check the IMDb on this actually. Let's not check it. Let's check it after we give our rating. What would you give it?
I'd give it about a 79.
Yeah, I'll give it 80. I think I'm cool with that. What's the IMDb say?
7.4.
No. Oh, it's called Meet the Ghosts. Was it also called Meet the Ghosts? You're looking at Meet the Ghosts.
No, it's the original title is Lou Costello Meet Frankenstein. They changed it apparently.
Oh right, that's a bit odd. So 74. We rate it slightly higher than IMDb, but it's still got a pretty high rating. Of course, the title's ironic because they don't actually meet Frankenstein. They meet the monster, and they meet Dracula, and they meet the Wolfman, and they even meet the Invisible Man.
Yeah,
which was another minor Universal franchise. There was, apart from those three big ones, they also had Invisible Man franchise going on, and Mummy franchise going on, and later on, about I think 5 or 6 years after this, they had a Creature from the Black Lagoon franchise start as well, which was quite good actually. So, kind of an ironic title. And also, I think on the back of this, Abbott and Costello made a few others based on Universal horrors. So there was a Abbott and Costello Meet the Mummy, Abbott and Costello Meet Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, and so on and so forth. But none of them was successful or considered as good as this one. This was the first and best of that particular run. Okay, so we liked it. Is there anything else you want to say about it?
Nah.
All I'll say is I saw it years ago when I was a kid, and I've always liked it, and I'll never stop liking anything because it's darn good. That's it for this week. We'll, if you want to leave feedback, you can go to our website www.thegoodthebadandtheodd.com. You can follow us on Twitter if you follow Good, Bad and Odd, and if you could leave us a review on iTunes, that would be great too. Any feedback would be very welcome. Okay, so it's goodbye from me.
Bye.